We are 3 weeks into Domestic na Kanojo, and Kawaki Ameku is so stellar that I dropped everything I was doing to really get into and break down why this opening goes so much deeper than I originally thought. Relying solely on the visual and song storytelling, I'll tell you my interpretation of the story being told as someone eagerly waiting to read the source material after the anime finishes airing. So for those that are already familiarized and caught up with the series, let me know how I did, without spoilers, of course. Domestic na Kanojo is a drama-driven romance that features main character Natsuo, who lives with a single father due to his mother passing away, and remarries into a family containing the teacher he's currently in love with, and a girl his age he just had casual sex with. Displaying a wide range of themes from sex, cheating, lust, trust issues, and of course, being in love with your newly found stepsisters, because anime, right? Domestic na Kanojo will be a story of heartbreaking, gut-wrenching love. With so many things lost along the way, will love ultimately prevail? The Domestic na Kanojo opening theme does so well with telling a definitive story while also portraying a melancholic and painful narrative, showing how the race will inevitably end. Inexperienced, heartless, but even so, be beautiful. We have a woman in black and white playing piano and singing, with her nails, lips, and earrings colored, which will be touched on at the end of the video. And she's seemingly reaching into the water, which quickly transitions to Rui and Hinane staring at each other, receiving color with a quick shot of Natsuo underwater. Despite Natsuo being experienced and heartless, the song is ushering him to be beautiful. No destiny unworthy. If it's like this, then probably things will go well if we just talk as if it's never enough. That's a mouthful. We have Rui on the phone with a destiny playing out before her, sending messages of, "You okay? Something happened? I'll be waiting for you," to presumably someone she's waiting for on a date. She closes the messages out and starts moving towards that destiny, no longer willing to sit around and wait. Things, money, love, words. I'm tired of self-asserting myself already. We now get Hinane sensei also checking her phone with messages also sent to someone she's waiting on for a date with the usual, "Got here before you," "Correct meeting place," "Something happened." With rain beginning to fall, she's hit by a raindrop and makes note of it by looking up at the sky. Things go from bad to worse with rain beginning to fall, and we can see the rain as unfortunate and unhappy things to come. Deja vu, what are you so unsatisfied about? You've said all sorts of selfish things. What more could you possibly want? I kind of don't mind that about you. We have a new and third girl taking shelter under the rain, checking her phone, presumably also waiting on her date. During the zoom shot of looking at her phone, we see the outline of a black bra which has sexual implications further on down the story. She also runs to take action. Finally, we have a fourth girl with an umbrella checking her phone walking through the park, also waiting for her date. With an umbrella ready, we can infer she might be more ready for the race at hand and treading through the unfortunate circumstances that are to come. Honestly, I'm sick of hearing that line. The one thing I don't want is ambiguousness. We have Natsuo fully submerged and seemingly lifeless beneath the woman playing the piano, with quick shots of Rui, Hinane, third girl, and fourth girl digging into woman making him bleed, all having their way with Natsuo's body. Enough. Even if you say to do this or that, even if you say you love me or why, it's easy if it's just for fun, and it's reckless if you're being serious. How many times are those worn out, unexpectedly serious words going to be used? With the song picking up, so does the visuals. Despite looking lifeless, we get bubbles of air from Natsuo. He's still there, with the black and white woman playing the melody of the race for Natsuo above him. Rui and Hinane are off and running, while third and fourth girl are shown to come to a standstill in their chase for Natsuo, within a puddle and mirror, showing their insecurities or worries of chasing our main man with full force. We were hoping anyway, even if it was a fixed race, even all those quoted phrases, making backtracking words taboo, take a hint and don't let it rain. In our final moments, we have Rui and Hinane retaining their color while stepping into the black and white zone dominated by the pianist, with our final showdown and stairs shown. Between a determined and an upset look from Hinane and an also determined look from Rui, the landscape is shown with the title screen flash. Rui on the left, Hinane on the right, and the pianist fades away, ending with a hand reaching into the water, pulling out Natsuo from his submerged state. Now that we've reached the end, here's what we can take away from the opening theme visuals. The story and narrative being told is one of a race for love, a melancholic, heartbreaking race for love that seemingly no one will win from. While Natsuo drowns in his sorrow, subsequently leaving every girl left on red for their date, each girl decided to take action even when things became tough, symbolized by the rain. Every girl has their way with Natsuo, while the pianist is in the middle and the root of everything for Natsuo. Despite everyone taking action, only Hinane and Rui make it to Natsuo and the pianist, which the plot will later unfold why. However, in the reflections, girl number 3's face in the puddle is hidden, but her body posture is at a halt and seemingly completely done, while in the window, girl number 4 is scared and repulsed. Ending with a stare down, we're left with the unknown hand that initially dove into the water finally reaching Natsuo, which I'm hoping is Rui because she's an angel. As for the implications, the pianist disappearing and being selected for a black and white color scheme leads me to believe she is Natsuo's deceased mother. No matter how much sex, love, or passion he has for every single girl, he has deep-rooted problems stemming from the early passing of the woman he loved most. She plays the melody the race will be written by because her passing is ultimately what's keeping Natsuo submerged. Despite his problems, Rui and Hinane, sisters that love each other, make it to the final battle for Natsuo and have to face each other earnestly while possibly tearing apart their family and bonds they've worked so hard to nurture for so many years. Despite all of these problems, it's a destiny with value, and even if love and life can feel like a fixed race with things like fate existing, even with all of those quoted phrases of love and such, she's at her wit's end and saying backtracking words are no longer allowed. She wants to move forward only, and is asking her love interest to take the hint and not allow rain on this love she so desperately has chased. And just from every girl's perspective, they feel like if there's more communication, there's a chance for destiny to unfold in their favor. In Hinane's situation in particular, she's tired of self-asserting herself, whether it's in the relationship she's trying to coerce herself into, or just with Natsuo and him being the child that he is compared to the adult that she is. Despite Natsuo being selfish, ultimately these girls don't really mind that about him. What they do mind is the ambiguousness. They want something firm that they can latch onto. They're tired of hearing the words love being used in either for fun situations or serious situations that ultimately hurt them. And despite love feeling like a fixed race with destiny at hand, every single girl doesn't want backtracking words anymore. They don't want to regress any further. Every single girl wants to go forward and hopefully not let it rain on their love. So going forward, we can expect girl number 3 and girl number 4, when they are introduced, to make valiant and strong impressions early on, but to ultimately fizzle out later. And whether that's in the anime or not, we'll, see later. But Rui and Hinane will be the ones battling at the end for Natsuo's love and affection. And like I said earlier, I really hope Rui ends up being the girl of choice. I know that she's going to be used and fallen back on, but hopefully she isn't hurt too much and along the way ends up making this love work out. But that's my interpretation of the Domestic na Kanojo opening theme. Granted, I'm 3 weeks in just like everyone else. I haven't read the source material, but I think that the storytelling from the opening theme is so good that we definitely get a lot of insight of what's to come for this melancholic, heartbreaking story. The song and visuals pair up extremely well, getting the point across of a sad and heartbreaking story that will unfold before our eyes as the anime season progresses. I'm also well aware that we're only 1 month into the calendar year, but Kawaki wa Ameku already is a high bid on anime opening of the year. What did you think of the Domestic na Kanojo opening? Did you interpret things differently than I did? Did you read the source material and maybe the anime adaptation isn't hitting the way it should be? Make sure to pick up Domestic na Kanojo, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this anime season like I have, because it has been absolutely splendid as of thus. Anyway, signing out, y'all.
You know how the story go. This the shit that never run and they always pretending that can kinda send and they mind what I'm bending. Just imagine like Lennon that we living like long division. My vision is risen, shout out my homie in prison. Shit is deeper than an incision on the lower level. Word of the devil, I can feel the trouble inside telling me